Hello, I'm back, and so are you. And today we're going to be talking about hiring a great salesperson. This is one of the most common questions I get from my clients is, how do you hire an excellent salesperson? This, as you may know, can be easier said than done. Traditional recruitment and interview methods can work well in some cases, but we have all hired individuals this way and been utterly disappointed by the results, right? While there is no surefire way to ensure that our newly hired salesperson is going to be a winner, I've developed a series of hiring techniques that has helped me immensely over the years. But first, I want you to meet Brenda. She has an English accent, Americans love. We connected right away, so much that I didn't even check her references. I had a good feeling about her and I hired her immediately, even though she didn't have any experience in the special events. She did have marketing and retail experience, so I thought, I thought she'd be good. Brenda was my first hire ever. It was when we first started the business in 1987. And I always would hear horror stories about salespeople. So I was really skeptical. I always thought that I could just do it all myself, and I realized I can't. So the following 6 months, though, proved that she did really, really well. She hit all of her goals, and then suddenly, Brenda didn't show up for work. I felt like something was wrong. So I called her several times, but no response. I called again the next day, and still no Brenda. I only had the information in her new hire packet containing her numbers in London, where she was from. So this was a time before cell phones. It was about 27 years ago. So you didn't call overseas. We just didn't do that. I was really worried about her because this wasn't like her. She was so on top of everything. So a week goes by, and business is business, and I had to pick up all her clients. So I called one of them to let them know that their deposit was due. And the client said she already paid Brenda. In light of this news, I went through all of her books, and there weren't any payments listed. I called another client and received the same reply. And a third gave me the same answer. I paid Brenda. Apparently, people wrote checks directly to her. Not only did I waste 6 months training her, but now I was out of all this money. The only thing left to do was to call the police. I gave them all the information that I had in her new hire packet. And a few days later, they called me back to say they didn't know who I had working for me, but that wasn't Brenda. The person belonging to that Social Security number was in London, and they could guarantee that. So after more research, it turns out that this woman was a fraud, and she stole the identity of her friend. So the fake Brenda took advantage of my being a young caterer just starting out. I was new to the ways of hiring, checking references and following up on clients. I just didn't do that. I didn't check my employees' references. Had she given me references, though, they probably would have all been good. The real Brenda was doing well in London. Anyway, here's the fake Brenda today. Yeah, there she is. The imposter was arrested but was not charged for the crime she committed against my company, but she was arrested for other crimes. I thought I would start out with this story because we all have horror stories, at least one person we've hired. We have businesses and we put everything into them with our staff, especially our salespeople. They are the ones representing our businesses. They are the ones in the front lines. So we really do have to be careful. Okay, the personality tests. Now we're talking about hiring a salesperson. As part of our recruitment process, you can ask your candidates to take a short series of standardized personality tests prior to the first interview. Personality tests will show how you can fit new hires into your team, and there are different personalities available. So, did you know that 72% of all companies today implement personality assessments before hiring? So this is substantial. Only 28% don't do any personality testing. So take note that personality testing is proven to be a vital part of hiring process, especially the Fortune 500. The personality tests are a more accurate measure of a salesperson and will determine if the candidates are likely to be a good fit for the company. As you get to know the different personality types, you're going to know who you want on your team and who you don't, who is going to be a great asset. There are quite a few different personality tests. Here I have the Caliper Profile, Gallup Strengths, and the Myers-Briggs. Myers-Briggs seems to be at the top of the list, at least for me anyway. This test assigns people into 16 different personality types based on their answers to a series of questions. Myers-Briggs is easy to understand and it gives you an in-depth analysis. But while these tests are by no means foolproof indicators of what your candidate will be like on the job, they can provide valuable information. Remember, while there are many different personality types, none is more superior than the others. They are all equal, yet different. But this does mean that some personality types are better suited to particular careers than the others. Here is the test that we give. It is free and complimentary. It is the Myers-Briggs test, www.kissa.ca/personality. Give this to your employees prior to hiring them and make sure that you tell them to answer the first thing that comes to mind. Too often, some people are overthinking these questions and thinking, oh, what should I say? So they really need to, the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to tell you how it all began. Years ago, I guess it was about 20 years ago, someone had approached me to see if they could give our team a personality test. She was doing her thesis and she needed it for school. And, personality tests at that time, I thought they were kind of like horoscopes. So I declined. And she said, but it's free and complimentary. And I said, well, okay. So she came in and she gave us all the personality tests. And she did say, answer the first thing that comes to mind. And after we got the test and after she reviewed everything, I realized something. I was getting prepared to fire our chef because I thought he disrespected me. And the reason I thought this is because I would send him an email and he wouldn't answer me. I know he read it because I saw the read receipt. And that drove me nuts. I just thought he didn't even respect me. I would walk into the kitchen. He didn't even mention the email. So I just couldn't understand his behavior. So then I realized that my personality type is I open up an email, I answer it right away and send it off. But his personality type, he opens up the email, he reads it, he thinks about it, he opens it up again, he thinks about it more and then sleeps on it. And then he opens it up again and then answers it. That doesn't mean it's right or wrong. That is just the way he processes his information. Now remember, I read it and I answer it and I send it out. That's my personality. Just want to get rid of it. Answer it, move on to the next thing. His personality isn't like that. He does need to think things through. So when I accepted his personality, I understood he wasn't disrespecting me. It was his way of processing. This is a prime example of two different personality types working together, and that's why I believe personality tests are so essential when we're building a team. especially the relationship you have with the salesperson must be the strongest relationship in the company. So using the Brenda story as an example, the best advice is to take advantage of personality tests. The results will amaze you. That's guaranteed. The key to this test is giving the first answer that comes to mind and not overthinking the questions. Additionally, you should avoid people who mirror your personality. I hired 2 salespeople that had the exact same personality as me, and that explained why we fought all the time. So you want to build a team with individuals of various skill sets that would make a cohesive team. In the special event industry, most of us are in it because we have a passion for what we do. We love either baking or cooking or flowers or designing or musicians or just creating an opportunity for others. Whatever it is, they do it because we have a passion for it. Landing a sale is different. Not everyone has a talent for it. This is when we should look closely at who is part of the whole team and make sure we have the right salespeople who can close a deal. So here are the 16 different personality types in Myers-Briggs. And the goal of knowing about personality types is to understand and appreciate the differences between people. As all types are equal, there is no best type. I'm going to give you in the downloads, right on the left here, all the different personality types and how they will contribute to a team and how they can irritate a team. And you will be amazed at this. Okay, so in your search, it has been theorized that the ENFP, the ESFP, and the ENFJ types are naturally inclined towards empathy, listening, communication, and teamwork. So these traits make for an excellent salesperson. And we are always on the lookout for these individuals who fall into these categories. Okay, so we have to find us. We have to find them. And a headhunter is expensive. Craigslist is great, and social media is great. Crafting a job ad for results. So when I pursued ads on different sites, I noticed that the companies are confusing job ads with job descriptions. An ad is to sell the applicant. A description is used internally to describe their responsibilities. So you want to keep it short. You want the title that catches the applicant's attention. An intro, a paragraph that summarizes most interesting points of the position. Your company name, the location, and then the qualification. So who uses Craigslist? Many people do. I like this ad a lot because they used HTML, which is great, and that means that you could have a photo on it. But it's short and it's sweet and it's Y-Drive and it's how to apply. Apply here, apply here. This isn't good. Apply here, apply here. So HTML is only available for paid listings. To ensure visibility, you want to repost the ad weekly. Social media is awesome, mainly because of its sharing feature and because it's free. Friends will share your post. Their friends will share it too. By the end of the day, inquiries have filled your inbox. Here's a great thing to put on your ads. Tell us why you are a perfect candidate for this position and leave your phone number for us to call you back. Here it is. Okay, so you put the phone number in there, but try placing the statement at the bottom of your ad. You'd be amazed of how quickly you weed out applicants that are not qualified. And the beauty of it, you get to hear them on the phone. Okay, here's another one. Join our growing team. It's the same kind of ad that includes the catchphrase, "Tell us why you are the perfect candidate." In addition to the ad, the candidate will need to fill out the online application as well. You can't spend a ton of time screening applicants. Especially everybody wants to be an event producer or salesperson for the special event industry. So when you put an ad in the papers or online, you will get many resumes. Among those who apply, some will only look good on paper. However, this system allows you to hear what they sound like, specifically listen to their grammar, and we can learn a lot about a person with that one telephone call. And what's impressive about this system is the machine isolates the people who have potential, and those are great applicants to call back to schedule an interview. But here's a tip. To ensure memory retention, you want to repost the ads weekly. Oh, surveys. Love them. After the applicants pass the phone call test, then send them a survey. This takes place prior to the actual interview to avoid waste and valuable time and money. The survey can be customized to fit the need for more information. With the phone call and the survey behind you, you now have better knowledge about the candidate and you're almost ready to hire. So here are a few questions to get you started on the survey. So, have you ever worked with someone that you did not get along with as a part of a team? And how did you handle the situation? What is more important, loyalty or honesty? Describe an important decision you made in the absence of your boss. We are interviewing a large group of great candidates for this position. Why should we choose you? What did you see about this company that convinces you that you would like to work here? Oh, there's more. Sell me on you in 2 minutes, go. That always throws them off. If your friends were asked to describe you in words, what would they be? What do you feel is your greatest professional accomplishment? And then after they answer that, and failure. How do you handle multiple tasks coming from multiple managers? What are your short-term and long-term career goals? Give me an example of a goal you achieved and how you reached it. What would you do differently if you could start your career all over again? Do you consider yourself successful? Why? How did you prepare for this interview? What are some things your current employer could do differently to be more successful? So you don't have to ask all of these questions in a single interview session. The interview should be casual and comfortable. So on a day that it's nice weather, try going outside and sitting outside in the parking lot, on the office grounds somewhere. You want them to feel comfortable enough to reveal the true person you're going to hire. So now during the interview, now that you have narrowed your candidate list down to those who are best suited for your position, it is now time to schedule interviews. So as an employer, you should prepare for the interview just as vigorously as you would expect your candidate to do so. Okay, folks, let's do a little recap. We talked about Brenda, my first new hire, that I'm sure everybody could relate to, their first new hire. We also talked about the importance of personality within a team. I urge you to give this test to all potential new hires prior to the interview because you really do want to know if they're going to fit with your team. Down below, I have put the Myers-Briggs Personality Assessment results so you could read about each of the personalities. And next, we talked about how to write a job posting. and adding certain things like tell us why you are the perfect candidate for this position and leave your phone number for us to call you back. Boy, that works so wonderfully. And then next we talked about the surveys, which I'm going to show you how to do the surveys in another segment because we just used SurveyMonkey, easy peasy. And we talked about interview questions, and now we're going to go into the actual interview. Okay? So thank you for staying with me. I really appreciate it. Until next time, bye. I'm coming to your neck of the woods. I will pull back the curtain and share successful sales and business strategies just for the special event industry. All sales, all day, 6 hours, but it flies by, you'll see. So who should attend? Everybody in the special event industry. This is an interactive workshop. What you will learn? The 13 sales techniques to close sales immediately. And why it's not the closing line that will seal the deal. You'll learn to design proposals that book and sales meetings that produce more revenue. And why prospects think that you are just like your competition. Goal. You'll learn to book more events, more weddings, fun, and you will get a light breakfast bites and lunch and a handbook all included. So come to a think tank. Go to merylsnow.com, think tank.